Son momentos muy retadores que llaman a la unión, la búsqueda de soluciones y un rumbo que ayude a construir un mejor futuro para todos. El Partido Demócrata y sus representantes de Calhoun County tienen un mensaje para usted.
We work really hard to register voters. We try to engage young voters. We pull in all kinds of groups. We're hoping to get into the Hispanic group. We've worked to be very diverse. The thing about the Democratic Party is that we don't discriminate in any form or fashion. So we are as diverse as can be. We want to be the face of America, and we want to bring in all ages and all kinds of people. I think we need to say that we're open to anybody that wants to come to this country. The party that's now in control, the Republicans, have early on, that was one of the first things they did, was establish a very rigid immigration policy. Alabama does not have an immigration problem, nor have we ever had, and it was proposed to be that way. It frightened lots of young children, thinking they were going to be separated from their parents. It terrified those that thought they were going to be deported. That was some early mean legislation that was passed. Immigration countries are going to have to work together. Building a wall is not the right thing to do. We are an open country. We're going to welcome all kinds of immigrants. We're all immigrants in the first place.
I don't believe that we can afford to turn the clock back and repeat some of the mistakes that were made in the past, that we need to look forward and be inclusive, all inclusive. It's a hard job, it's difficult. You have to be committed to it, but the alternative is not to get involved and to sit back and gripe about what you don't like, but that's not productive at all. I think you have to get out there, get involved at the local level, and work at getting people registered to vote and get them to the polls. Educate them in the process of getting them to the polls.
Always have tried to involve other women, by putting them on boards, and if they're interested in those types of things, just to realize that we have a voice and we have ideas that we would like to also be included in politics. We have a lot of people that will come to our meetings. We have what we call a work session before our meetings, where that we can get input from our citizens, even on our agenda. At the beginning of our meetings, we have a time for citizens to address any item on the agenda that they would like to, and then at the end of our meetings, we have a place for our citizens to talk about anything in general. So that's a very interesting part.
We are all inclusive. We are concerned about those who are left with no one to speak for them. Well, the focus, first of all, should be one that's not going to be in a complacency type of attitude, to be more involved and at the local level to really seek out what they can do to try to improve education, to try to improve the world in general. But you can only do that when you get involved at the local level, at the state level, and the national level.
I'm a Democrat just because of the progressive values that they uphold. I believe in equality. I really trust the young people to do the right thing. I think that we're more conscious of indifferences, and so like they were saying about being inclusive, I think that our generation will be really good at that, about bringing people in rather than pushing people out, which is something that we need. I think a lot of times the youth vote gets kind of pushed aside and not thought about, but I think it's important to remember that young people are hungry for that genuine engagement in the issues of our times, and that it's important that we don't let ourselves become overlooked as too indifferent to participate in the conversation.
Well, I think that it's important to get involved in your country's political stuff, because you need to have a say. I want our generation I want the world to be good for our generation. We don't want to grow up and be fighting for the rights that we thought that we already had. I think that we should have had a woman president long ago. Our country will most likely improve when she becomes the president.
I do what I do for my granddaughters. I want them to have a life that's good, that's fair, that's just. And it really scares me what's going on right now. We're looking for people to come out of the closet and join us in Calhoun County, because I think there's still plenty of people around in Calhoun County, around Alabama that believe in equality and believe in justice and believe that laws are made to make life work for people and not to constrain what people are able to do.
Para conocer más e involucrarse en las decisiones de su comunidad, puede comunicarse al 256-310-0955 o al 256-419-6782. Sea parte del cambio para el futuro de la comunidad y el país. Este es el momento para marcar la diferencia.